So I just watched One Punch Man season 3 and I have to be completely honest because you don't overhype a show that has essentially become a meme. I say this with a heavy heart because of the absolute downfall this franchise has experienced ever since this stuff took the reins. One Punch Man is supposed to be a comedy drama that makes you laugh through its sharp humor and wit, which the first season nailed flawlessly, but this season it makes you laugh and cry for all the wrong reasons. I mean, it is entirely understandable why fans are literally calling it One Frame Man. Thanks, JC Stuff. Even with low world expectations, season 3 is riddled with animation inconsistencies, especially when it comes to the fight choreography. But honestly, this was bound to happen given JC Staff's lack of expertise in high octane action animation. They simply don't have the expertise or experience for a top tier action franchise like One Punch Man, leaving us fans doomed. But you know what? Here is the interesting thing about the One Punch Man fanbase. There are still people like me who will watch this series despite these glaring issues. That is the kind of unconditional love most fans have for this story. And truth to be told, season 3 isn't completely unwatchable after waiting all these years. I'm saying because even though the whole season didn't match the potential that of the manga, yet in the initial episodes the frames are undeniably static, yet they are mostly very detailed and sharp and colorful also compared to the previous season. Also, everyone including me initially went into thinking that JC Staff might be cooking with the fight scenes, and that's why they are emphasizing with static detailed frames for normal everyday dialogue scenes so that they can have the budget for the fight scenes. And we all know what they had cooked. When it comes to the story, this season, just like the previous seasons, still carries that classic sarcastic One Punch Man humor. That is one thing you will definitely enjoy in this season as well. However, coming to the basic story of this season, that is, the Hero Association finally invades the newly established Monster Association. The story is definitely fun and it also progresses at a solid pace despite given animation inconsistencies and issues. However, let's address the elephant in the room. That is the fight scenes or the fights. They actually dedicated entire episodes to showing individual fights of various S-class heroes. The matchups themselves are interesting, but the execution suffers as always. And it is just inevitable at this point. I believe this isn't just a budget issue. It's also a creative limitation in how they direct action sequences. The majority of the fights end up feeling off-baked and completely out of touch with whatever that made the series famous. But oh boy, to say there are no good fight scenes, the entire season wouldn't be fair. Because many fans also are arguing that the ending fight sequence featuring Saitama is definitely a lot better than any other fight in the season or in the previous season. Because to some extent, that single battle is worth watching and praising. JC Staff definitely pushed it past their usual boundaries for that finale. The Saitama fight has significantly better choreography and framing compared to any previous battle in the season. So with that final Saitama clash, the season comes to an end. The next season is expected to be animated by JC Staff again, and I just hope they try to replicate the quality of that final fight and maintain it throughout the entirety of the next season.